Dinner is served. And happy Thanksgiving. Now on to the next course. You. Thanksgiving came out a year ago and is directed by Eli Roth. And I remember whenever this came out, it was like everybody was praising it. Like this was this was the new entry to the slasher world. This was the new franchise. This was the big one. This was, there was so much hype. And I didn't get to check it out. I was supposed to, I was intending to, but I just never got around to it. There was that many things happening. And I heard great things, but then I started to hear mixed things. And obviously I don't judge a movie until I have seen it personally. And I did. I finally got to see it quite recently. And you know what? It was a good time. I did enjoy it. So it basically starts off with a shopping mall, and basically it stampedes. Like the whole thing, there's like a huge fucking parade of people outside it just to try and get in for like, I don't even fucking remember what it's even for, but it was something really ridiculous. I remember that. Something stupid. And it gets out of control. Guy opens the door. Chaos ensues. People get trampled on. Accidents happen. Which is what I do like about Eli Roth's movies. I like that he involves like accidental deaths. It's not just all, slays from the main killer. It's, it's accidental, stupid shit, which makes it more realistic. And a lady from the mall that was important to the story gets trampled on and, dies. And that basically kickstarts the whole fucking murder mystery thing. If I were to describe this movie, what it would be like, I'd say it's a mix between Halloween and Scream. If you mix both of them together, you basically get this. So the kills in this movie are pretty good. There's some really gnarly ones. There's some really goofy ones. And unfortunately, some of the kills is CGI. Not all of them, but some of them. And it kind of took me out of it, out of the immersion. And so the killer basically runs around in a John Carver outfit, mask, the whole getup. And I think already you could even just call it iconic because it's very distinct. It's different. It stands out and sort of stands on its own. And I think if we get one or two sequels to this, and if they're decent, this will probably be the next iconic franchise. They'll probably follow in the lead with Terrifier. How it instantly became a hit after basically the second one. That's whenever it really, became successful and made a name for itself. But things I didn't like about this movie Like I said, there's not that many. It is a decent movie. Kills are awesome. The suspense is really well done and well balanced. I have to say, some of the acting is pretty bad. there's there's some dialogue in it, and it's like, uh, it's a very camp movie, extremely camp, and a bit cringy at times, and like there's a scene whenever like the killer throws the girl onto like a saw, and like the guy has like a gun pointed at him, and like you clearly have a clear shot. Her head was here, his head was here. That is a clear shot. It's not like he was here; he was there. You could have easily just, and then you could have saved your girlfriend. But dumb decisions. Then after she goes on the saw and she comes off and he's holding her, he's like, I get the going for believability. I get the going for the whole realistic. You're in shock. You don't know what to do. But like he's just holding her. He's like, what do I do? Yes, what do I do? You know, it's like I get it. You're in shock, but you've seen something that horrible. Surely you'd have a bit of, concern in your voice, like properly. Like, what do I do? Have tears welling up. Usually that would be the normal reaction. But like I said, just little nitpicks. And ironically, after she gets off the saw, it turns off. Just perfect timing. So convenient. There's also a scene where it's like, what? But originally it was supposed to be a lot worse than this, but it was rewritten before the movie came out because there was a trailer way years ago before this movie even came out that was a little bit different compared to now. But there's a scene where like cop he's there and he says, "Right, stick together." The second he goes, one of the young couples runs off. Yeah, sure, yes, smart. So they find a trampoline, she's jumping on it, and they're getting ready to have intercourse. Uh, it sounded like posh, didn't it? I don't like it. So she's jumping, whatever, and the guy is sitting like, oh yeah, it's fucking gonna be amazing. He gets neck snapped instantly. Like, this guy must be fucking strong and be able to twist his head all the way around. Of course, she doesn't notice this. How? No, she had her back to him, but come on. And originally, I thought it was going to go for the really gnarly approach because there was a scene like whenever she went down for the trampoline and she did like splits and then jumped back up. I was thinking, is she gonna go down do the splits and then, but they didn't. They didn't. But I think originally that actually was, I think the original scene that was intended, but they changed it probably for the best. So basically, just stabs her foot. She falls, then stabs her chest, and that's basically it. So pretty basic. And what I really like about this movie is it has a lot of originality about it. Like, yeah, it's a killer running around slaying people, but it's what he does afterwards. I liked, and I thought was really original. Like taking him around the table, in a certain like in his hideout, and he has a big table for Thanksgiving, and he puts all of his victims, he props them up on the chairs, and I thought, it's little things like that. It also it kind of reminds me a bit of like Maniac, in a way, but I know for him, he's got like all the mannequins, like, but it gave that weird vibe, like because he dressed them up in his victims' clothes. But there's definitely one kill in this movie that really, really was rough, and it was also quite realistic, primarily because of the acting. The acting was really well done in this scene. Like I said, it's not all bad, just some. But seeing whenever the lady like kind of breaks out and she goes to like the fridge and she finds the girl from the trampoline still alive. Don't know how, but must be saving her for later, you know. But she does everything right. Everything right. And there's a really suspenseful scene, which was one of my favorite in terms of suspense, where she's like hiding around the corner and the killer stops, and from her view, she just sees like the pitchfork, like just the tips of it, and it's really suspenseful because she has the bottle getting ready to attack if he comes in, but he goes away, and you're like, okay. They start stabbing through the wall, but she gets away and she almost escapes. If only the bastard had to cheat, throw the pitchfork, and inevitably got her in the back, and then he dragged her in. Smart character. I like that. But it's the scene afterwards that got me like, oh.
I don't know that one.
I don't know why Alexa decided to be weird. Like, shut up, I'm talking. But it's he basically he ties her up, he ties her hands up in her legs, and he puts her in an oven. Like it's like an oven, but it's more of a fucking what's the word? Furnace. And the acting in that scene is so realistic and so well done that you genuinely believe it. The screams, the panicking, the facial expressions, so well done, really, very very well done. And she obviously doesn't make it from that, as you see later on. Whenever he takes her on, she's like a turkey, literally like a human fucking turkey, like no head, legs, just the whole thing. I don't ask me. She was stuffed. I don't know. I don't want to know. You shouldn't want to know. Oh, that shit did look delicious, though. I will say that. What is wrong with me? So yeah, the movie, it's good, suspenseful. It's got a bit of bad acting. It's got smart characters in it, which you rarely see in slasher movies these days. The antagonist is very unique and does talk. Actually, I was not expecting him to talk at all, but he started talking whenever he had them all around the table, and he was talking away, and I was like, "Oh shit, he talks!" And he had like the live stream where he was like bashing the guy's head in with a hammer, and they were getting likes and stuff, and it's terrifying because in reality, that's probably something that would happen. Like the dark web, like you always hear stories like where someone's saying doing a live stream and they're gonna do something really bad, and people in the chats are like egging it on to saying, "Yeah, do it." So like I said, realistic in that sense because that shit unfortunately does happen. It's fucked up, but it happens. But you get the reveal of who the killer is, and spoiler alert, if you don't want to know, if you haven't watched this movie, I think you should watch it. It's really good. And even the reveal of who the killer is actually really cool. So I'm gonna give it 3 seconds. If I were you, I would go watch it, then come back. 3, 2, 1. So you find out that the killer is Cop, played by Patrick Dempsey. Sorry, I forgot the name, but he played Detective Ken K in Scream 3, which is ironic that he came back to play a cop. And this time he was the killer. Even though in Scream 3 he was suspected to be the killer. So, really cool. I like that. Little parallels there. But yeah, so you find out that because he was in love with the girl that died in the mall in the beginning of the movie, that's what triggered his rampage. So, yeah. And there was also a scene which I really appreciated, and I didn't expect it at all, was he actually does a costume change, like before the reveal, but it's like in midway in the movie where there's a turkey mascot, and he beheads the turkey mascot. Ironic, beheading the turkey, right? Oh, I see what you did there. Yeah. So they do that, which I thought was a hilarious scene. I was in stitches. But he has a clown costume now. And I thought that's actually really smart, like genuinely strategic on his part. You know, everybody's going to be looking around for a John Carver outfit. He's wearing completely different outfits. So I thought that was very smart. So I like that. That was pretty nifty. So overall, would I recommend this movie? Yeah, I would. Do I think it's the best horror movie ever? No, definitely not. But it's a comfort. It's one of them movies you can just put on and have fun with it. You know what I mean? You don't take it serious. It's got some good kills. It's got some good suspense. It's camp, but you still have fun with it. So yeah, I would totally recommend it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Totally recommend it. So, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all of you. And yeah, thanks for watching. And as always, don't kill anyone.